Hey everyone, welcome to more continuing coverage for me of E3 2017. This is just kind of my off-the-cuff thoughts on Bethesda's press conference that just got done taking place. I loved the Bethesda land aesthetic thing they did for the presentation. I thought that was well done. I also liked that it just went one, and it was basically a very small intro, and then just a tiny bit of talking, and then they went right into the presentation and go kind of back to back to back. Not a whole lot of filler in between linking everything together. So it was nice and compact. It was relatively short, less like a half hour or so in total for how long it lasted. But it was still, I thought, a well done press conference. As far as that was concerned. However, it was what they showed that I'm much more meh on, to be honest. Sitting here, there's only like one thing out of all of it that was shown that I'm like, awesome. Like, that's awesome. I can't wait to get my hands on it. Everything else was kind of or even below We saw VR for Doom and Fallout 4. I'm not into VR. I think VR is gimmicky, too expensive. When it becomes cheaper, one day maybe I'll own it. But I still much prefer just having the controller and playing that way. So, especially also with experiences I've already had. I loved Doom and I loved Fallout 4, but I played that, been there, done that. I want either a new Doom or a Doom expansion or a new Fallout game, or hell, I would have been at least moderately excited about remasters of Fallout 3 and New Vegas, similar to what we saw with the Skyrim remaster from Bethesda. I'm not saying that this is not going to ever happen now, but I thought maybe if that was going on, they would have at least announced it here, that they were working on some sort of remaster for that. I'd much rather have a new game, but at least that would have given us something. But unfortunately, no. They had a thing about Elder Scrolls Online Morrowind, which launched already. It's not like coming soon. Like, that's already out. It came out last week. And some other stuff with Elder Scrolls Online, MMO. Not into it at all. I think it's cool that they put Morrowind into Elder Scrolls Online, but like, Elder Scrolls Online seemed like one of those games that had a little bit of hype, and then I don't even know anyone currently playing it. A couple of the other MMOs, I still have friends that play. I'm like, wow, and Final Fantasy 14 and stuff like that. But I don't even have any friends playing Elder Scrolls Online, and I never got into it. They also hyped up more community creation stuff. They have this new community creations thing that's coming out in the near future with like developers working on mods and the top mod makers for the community, like working together for like better mods, I guess, or something. It's going to be launching with PS4, Xbox One, and PC with this new thing. Mods are always cool. That's one of the advantages that PC always used to have, and now they have some mods for console, but they're not the same. You can't do everything mod-wise on console that you can do on PC, so PC is still much better as far as the modding goes. It's cool, I guess. Not going to benefit me at all as far as that's concerned. There was some more hype for the Elder Scrolls mobile card game. Not interested at all. I play very few mobile games as it is. I did play Fallout Shelter when that came out, and I liked it for like a day, but then it just got way too boring and way too microtransaction-y as far as like any progress being made half the time. And just anyway, turn off for me. I don't do a whole lot of card games, really. The only one I was kind of interested in the last little bit was the Gwent one for Witcher, but I haven't had time to even check that out. We then saw a bunch more about Quake Arena. The stuff they showed was very, very heavy focused on esports. Like, that's like, okay, I get it. Esports is what they're gonna be, but like, I'm not an esports player. What's in it for the non-esports guy who doesn't want to give a crap about going to QuakeCon or whatever, and that just isn't there. It's fast paced. It looks like it's gonna be good for what it is. I'd rather have a classic new Quake. Like, give me old Quake, Quake 1, like Quake 2, like those original Quake games. I would be much more excited about that. I'm not really into the multiplayer shooter stuff. So that, once again, really didn't do a whole lot for me, especially with how much they were like, QuakeCon, esports. Like, that just was like, okay, I'm just gonna sit here and do. I literally turned off. I flipped to something else, and I was doing something else while listening in the background at that point until that part actually finished. And then finally, some like actual new stuff. And this is near the end too. That we get 2 games that they're working on. That we'll be seeing, one this year, and probably one, my guess is the other one will be next year, and we'll get to see more of it as time goes. And this was the only real interesting part, I thought, of their conference at all, which was Evil Within 2, first up, coming out October 13th of this year. I hated Evil Within 1. A lot of that game I did not like, but I am a big horror fan. I thought this trailer was cool looking. I'm not going to deny that. I do like the whole plaster, like, stasis thing that was going on with it. I thought they did some really cool visuals in this trailer, and I'm obviously interested still. I will probably still buy it day one and play through it right away, like I did with Evil Within 1, just because I am a glutton for punishment, and I do love horror, so I'm hoping for the best here. Considering my... there will be no hype for me going into Evil Within 2 like there was for the original Evil Within. I was really hyped for that game, so that's why I hated it so much. That's why not liking it sucked as bad as it did. If it was a game I didn't care about, it wouldn't have mattered as much. So Evil Within 2, I can't set the bar any lower for my expectations. So it should hopefully do better, no matter what it is, than what Evil Within 1 did for me. So I am looking forward to that. And then finally, the thing that I'm most impressed with, the thing that I cannot wait to play, and the best part of the entire conference, was the reveal of Wolfenstein 2: New Colossus. This is a game that was first hinted at last year when they did their Quake Arena, the new Quake announcement. They had a list of Bethesda projects, and under Wolfenstein, New Order, whatever, was New Colossus. And so a lot of people were assuming it was going to be the new Wolfenstein, but of course we had to wait until this year to get anything actually on it, and the trailer was great. It's set in America, alt history, where the Nazis took over and all that stuff, and that's something that I just absolutely love, that kind of fiction. So I'm very, very excited. I loved the touches on some of the stuff of they started off, the very beginning of the trailer was this old school TV show, like a Lassie type of show, but it was actually for one of the giant robots. The girl calls it to help somebody, and just the whole thing has that Americana feel, but then it turns into this whole German Nazi thing, and it just I thought it was very well done trailer wise. They showed some. I don't know how much it's gonna be gameplay or not, but it's gonna be pretty. You pretty much assume how gameplay is gonna be as far as shooter goes. I think what's gonna make this game potentially great, though, looks like the characters and the story. They even talked to the guy at the very end of it afterwards, talked about it briefly, but I think one of the funniest aspects was the very end of it. The very end of the trailer shows the one character, Anya, who is the main character's wife or girlfriend, whatever, who's pregnant. She's stabbing a Nazi to death, and then the other character in this scene just dropped acid and is seeing a cartoon chameleon and flipping out about it, or it's funny that. This game has potential, now is immediately on my, anticipated list. I loved New Order and Old Blood. I thought they were both very well done, and and probably my favorite Wolfenstein games since 3D. And some of my favorite, that was a really fun shooter. I thought they did a lot of care to kind of mix up new and old in it with some of that throwback stuff they did in that. So I think it's potentially a really good game that we're going to end up getting out of New Colossus, hopefully. So that's the thing I am easily most excited for. So it's that tiny smidge of excitement for Evil Within 2, but not excitement, more of just cool that they're making another one. Hopefully it will be better for me, and just more horror games. So that's always a plus. And then everything else was just no hype. Nothing else did anything for me. But what do you guys think? What was the most impressive thing to you? What did you like, didn't like about it? All that good, fun stuff. Let me know in the comments. If you're like-minded and more of a curmudgeon-style gamer that I've become, subscribe to the channel or my other channel. That's pretty much how it goes. I love gaming. Don't get me wrong. These first two conferences so far at E3, I don't know. They haven't appealed to me fully, but there's more to come. Devolver Digital is coming up in just a few minutes, and I'm going to be watching that as well. They publish a lot of awesome titles, indie titles over the last little while. And then, of course, we still got Ubisoft and Sony, big one for Sony tomorrow, and Nintendo. So hopefully, E3 will keep going up. Right now, it's kind of like a level for me with just a few little bit of hints of excitement. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed.